So we're coming up on 2 years of CS2 and kind of got me thinking, a little nostalgic about Go. So here are 8 things that I think I miss about CSGO and one thing that I kind of don't. Warning, these are all going to be nitpicks, but I don't really care, so just enjoy. So the first thing that I miss is being able to instantly switch the left and right hand. So in CSGO, you used to be able to instantly switch the left hand and right hand. And in CS2, as you might already know, it kind of re-pulls out your gun, which makes it take a second to come out instead. And what I miss about CSGO is that it used to be instant. So imagine I'm just clearing some corners, bang, bang, bang. And then, I would then switch and then, peek out. So basically, so that the gun doesn't cover where I'm peeking. Like imagine the clearing, right? Going out, clearing all the corners, and then I swing out here, bang, there's someone right down here, and I don't even know. And he just kills me, he just shoots bang bang, and I'm dead. Like, just imagine that. In CS2 that happens, but in CSGO, look, I can just switch hands, and I see this guy, bam, I can kill him maybe. I mean, of course, it kind of just depends, but it's more information for you as a player. You just see more instead. We're in CS2, and maybe if we want to do it anyway, we can do it in CS2, but it just messes up the timing. Instead of just going, bang, 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 and then bang, you have to go bang, 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 switch, wait a sec, and then once the gun is fully pulled out, then you can swing out. So it's just a little nitpick, just a little annoying thing that I kind of wish that they kept in CS2. Alright, and the next thing that I kind of want to talk about is the movement. Now, I'm not really much of a movement player, but already, in CS2, first of all, we had that big bug where you just couldn't B-hop at all, but B-hopping just feels so much easier in CSGO. Look at that. I just hit 3-4 hops in a row, and I've never been able to do that in CSGO. I have a CS2. This is 64 tick as well, and it's just so much smoother, so much easier to, okay, I'm kind of failing now, but you just saw before I just did 3-4 hops in a row, and it's just a little something that I miss about CS2 is the movement isn't as strong. Now the third thing that I miss from CS2 is of course the game modes. Now as we can see, we can go into war games, and you might notice there is quite a few more game modes than just simply arms race up here, and of course there is danger zone, but that thing's dead at this point. I don't think that's ever existing. But something as simple as demolition, flying scoutsman, these are just, I feel so simple to add. I can give a pass to danger zone. Danger zone, it's a bit more complex. It's completely new maps and all that, but demolition, flying scoutsman, flying scoutsman is literally just a simple gravity change and give everyone scouts. I feel so too complicated. And of course we have retakes. Where's the official Valve retakes? Now of course, personally I don't actually play any of these, but just feel why is it a downgrade? Why did we go from having these to suddenly not having them? Especially when some of them are just it is a simple, easy rule change. Now, one big thing that I definitely miss is, of course, the big, beautiful server browser. Let's go now, but bang, there it is. The in-game community browser, no shift tabbing nonsense, no, nothing. It's just bang right here. Okay, so I've had to do a little bit of digging to find a server. Oh. Okay, I somehow entered spectator, but anyway, I went through a bit of trouble to find a server that had what I was looking for, and it is this little pop-up. So this little, I don't know what to call this little console pop-up something, but basically, it's this very easy UI interface that you could use to just change skins. RTV. I'm sure I could do it right now. Okay, well it's not allowed, but you could RTV, you could change skins, you could, exclamation mark guns in certain warm-up or servers or retake servers. And basically, it would just come up with this very easy, just press all the numbers, do whatever you want. And it's just very quick, easy, bang, bang, snaps. And I miss this about CS2 because in CS2 you don't have something like this. What we have now is you just type in, I want exclamation mark guns, and then this little thing in chat will pop up. I might show it like right now. And then like you have to type in, exclamation mark 1 for AK, then exclamation mark 2 for Deagle or whatever. And it's just very annoying. It's not as intuitive, and yeah, I just missed out a lot. We had like sort of like trying to experiment with it. I saw on this one server where you could like WAS, like it like brought up this little pop-up. Yeah, I might show it again here if I have it, but and then you like use WASD to move around. I mean, that was kind of cool, but it wasn't intuitive at all. And it only could pop up if you were alive, which was also annoying. So yeah, it didn't really go anywhere. And yeah, that was just something that I miss about CSGO. It's just such a nice built-in user interface that was just very clean and easy. And that's just something that I miss a lot actually. Now another thing that I miss about CSGO is of course the big beautiful buy wheel. I still have a little bit of muscle memory. Like bang bang, I can buy all my nades. I can buy. Yeah, my M4, holy crap, why am I so fast in no clip? Jesus. And it's something that I miss because it's just very unique to CSGO, and it's just pretty cool, I don't know, in my opinion. It's just unique, it separated itself from, a Valorant per se. Yeah, and I know it's meant to be because, it was like originally made to be compatible with console, but I just thought it was pretty sick, To touch more on this is I miss having being able to buy any gun that I wanted. Of course I understand that in CS2 they were going for you gotta pick your loadout. You gotta pick. Maybe you wanna play with the M4A4. Maybe you wanna play with the A1S. You gotta pick and choose these things. And I like that idea on paper, but in reality, it's kind of just a little annoying because now if I wanna, I have to if I wanna be able to troll a game, maybe we're winning fucking 12-0 and it's the last round or something, and maybe I want to troll. I'm like, hey, let's buy a DAC, maybe troll a bit. I can't do that because I don't have it equipped in CS2, right? And it's just a little bit annoying, maybe guys, let's buy Negev and just spam down mid or something. I can't do that because I don't have the Negev equipped because, who in their right mind has these guns equipped? They're just dumb, stupid troll weapons basically, right? And, I just miss being able to just on a whim, just say, hey, let's just try something, let's just have a little fun, It's just something that I miss. Again, it's a nitpick. All of these are going to be nitpicks, but it's just something that I miss about CSGO, just being able to just buy any gun I want, maybe this round I forgot they had riot shields, I'm not going to lie. Maybe I want Negev, maybe I want a M249, but I don't have them equipped, maybe I want a PP Bison, no one has a PP Bison equipped, but I can't do that anymore. I have to preemptively decide that I want to troll and then I equip it for the next game or something. But what if that game goes wrong? But anyway, now the next thing that I want to talk about is, I miss competitive ranks. I know that they're still in the game, but it's not in the same capacity anymore. You know what I mean? I feel like on paper, having an individual rank for each map makes sense, sounds good, but at least the way they executed it, not very good, in my opinion. I feel like it's a bit, I don't know, annoying, a little too demanding, and I feel like saying you're global elite just doesn't have quite the same aura as it did back in CSGO. Do you know what I mean? And Premier ranks, I know Premier is the go-to now, so let's just, let's say, well, you're 30k in Premier, also just saying that number, it doesn't really have that kind of aura as well, you know what I mean? It's okay, well, sure, And it's something that I think Valorant does better. I know, the big V word, he who shall not be named, but Valorant I think just does ranked like 10 times better than CSGO. Of course, we have the Diamond 1, the 3, 4, sorry, not 4, but 1, 2, 3, and then you go Ascendant, then you go Immortal, and then you have like Radiant, and then there's like your like ranked numbers in Radiant. And I think if like Valve introduced that sort of thing to CSGO, I think it'd be, oh sorry, CS2, I think it like just make the ranking a lot better. So, maybe we have silver, then gold nova, then, blah, 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 and then you hit global elite, and then there's, numbered ranking of global elite. And then I think that'd be I think that'd fix the ranking up a bit. Maybe the aura of global elite a little bit better nowadays. It's kind of lost that aura, as I said before. Now, my next 2 points, I'm going to be talking about all in one fell swoop. So here it is. It's going to be both of them at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be the net graph and the scoreboard. Now, the scoreboard is probably these are probably like the weakest thing I could talk about, like super ultra nitpicky, but I miss the net graph. I know that they have the telemetry now, top right on the screen, but I miss the net graph, like being able to customize it, being able to, on the side, or, more in the middle. Or do they even have a 3? Yeah, all the way to the right, These are just things that I miss. You can change the font. You can change all the sizes, Make it big, make it small. You can change the height. You can just move it all around your screen if you want, right? And, I kind of miss that about the net graph. I think it has a little bit more charm. It's a lot more readable, I think, in my opinion. You can see tick right there. You can see whatever, then you can see a packet loss, all this all in one, little thing. And I just think it's a lot neater, a lot better than telemetry. Of course, telemetry is fine once again, it's fine, it works. But, I miss the customizability of the net graph, I guess. And then, of course, you have the scoreboard. I just, why can't you change where the scoreboard goes? We're just taking away things from CSGO. I think it's literally just in the settings too. I might be wrong, but CL underscore HUD play count position. You can put it at the top, you can put it at the bottom. It's just these little things, and they're just taking them away in CS2. I just don't understand why. It's just something so simple, so dumb, and you just can't do it in CS2. At least I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that is going to be all the things that I miss from CS. At least that I could think of in some 20 minutes that I spent thinking about it. Maybe if you guys missed something, put them down below. But I just want to touch one small thing that I think a lot of people hated, at least at the start of CS2, that I actually don't mind being missing, is the jump throw binds. Now, I think they kind of got deleted from me, but let's just pretend that the jump throw binds are still here. I think people were very angry when Valve very much ruined them by just making them not allowed. But I think it's actually something that's, not too bad, in my opinion. I just think removing this just random extra step of having to make a notepad and then stick it in to your fucking files, and I mean, in my opinion, I think it's just better to just have it in-game thing instead of having to do this fucking notepad auto exec shit. I think it just removes a little layer. I don't think it's a skill ceiling, lowering the skill ceiling at all. I think it's more just raising the skill floor, I guess, which, I mean, maybe it's the same thing, but I don't really mind it. And so those are my 8 things that I miss about CSGO, and one thing that I don't really. But yeah, that's kind of about it for today. Leave down the comments if there's something that you think I missed, or just maybe something that you miss from CSGO, and maybe add something that you don't miss. I don't know. There isn't too much things that I don't miss from CSGO, to be honest. I still think it's low-key the better game. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.